Hi folks, Justin Hoffman here for Bass Pro One Source. Today I'd like to talk about crankbaits, specifically crankbaits for largemouth or smallmouth bass. Now, I love crankbaits. They work phenomenal. Basically, what they represent is what the fish actually feed on. So I've got a selection here of 5 crankbaits I've chosen, which you should have in your tackle box. So let's start with number 1. It's called a wakebait. Now, wakebaits are awesome baits. They're actually a topwater bait, semi-subsurface, and it's a very shallow lip, as you can see. So this bait, when you toss it out, it forms a wake or a V as it comes through the water on top, alerting fish to it. They'll come up and bust it off the surface. Great one to have in the tackle box. Largemouth and smallmouth bass will both eat this thing up. Now, the next one you want to have in your box is a shallow running bait. Now, shallow running baits normally go between 6 inches to maybe 1.5 feet down. Perfect for when you're working over emergent weeds, shallow wood, and you just want to keep that bait above it. Now, generally, you're going to want to look for a floating crankbait, so if it does hit wood or it taps at the top of those weeds, it's actually going to float back up and you can bring it back down. Great to have. Next one you want to have in your tackle box is a mid-running bait. So a crankbait, which is a mid-running one, will probably go about 4 to 8 feet deep. Perfect for those conditions where you might be working a channel, possibly working a hump. It'll fit in those dimensions of what you want in a crankbait. And shallow runners, perfect. If you get one in about 4 to 8 feet, it's going to cover all the bases what you haven't covered so far. Now the next one you want to have, and which one of my favorites, is a rattle trap style bait. Now, these things have rattles, as you can hear, super loud, and there's no lip whatsoever. So basically, you cast this out, cast a country mile, these are quite heavy, and you just burn this in. You can actually count it down to the depth you'd like to fish. It generally sinks about 1 foot per second. So you cast this thing out, reel it in, burn it in, and fish will just smoke this. So basically, this can be worked from, say, 1 foot up, all the way down to 20 feet if you'd like to. Lastly is a deep diving crankbait. This one, I believe, goes down to about 18 feet. Perfect for covering those humps. Perfect for covering those break lines, those points. Great baits altogether, especially in the fall time. I actually love throwing these because the largemouth and smallmouth will actually go down deep, and these things will get them every time. So basically, there's 5 crankbaits that you should have in your tackle box to cover all the bases that you need when you get out on the lake. So look for these in your favorite tackle store, which is Bass Pro Shop. Pick them up, stock your tackle box, and throw them next time you're on the water. You'll be glad you did. Thanks for watching Bass Pro One Source, and we'll see you on the water.